I just finished prepping this. This is all my meals and snacks for the whole week. I'm going to show you exactly how I prepped this in just over an hour. So I'm doing some meal prep again today. So I'm going to show you, I thought I'd just show you what I'm going to be doing. This is a full week of prep for 4 or 5 days, so a full work week. It's very high protein. This is almost 100 grams of protein per day. And it's super customizable with the calories. This is ideal for losing or maintaining weight. So you can get anywhere from 1,200 to 1,800 calories per day. And as I've been saying recently, I have been trying to get my meal prep as simplified as possible. I just want to make it as simple as possible so I can get it done in an hour. That's the point, is just to get it done so that you've got all your meals for the week. Anyway, we're gonna start with breakfast because breakfast is so simple. It's like 10 minutes, all the breakfasts are done. So we're gonna start with that. This is my coffee banana protein smoothie. I've really been enjoying this lately, so I was like, I'm making this week. I'm gonna show you what else we're gonna be having. Lots of things. So apart from the coffee banana protein smoothies for breakfast, having spicy chickpea mayo wraps or chicken wraps for lunch, salmon teriyaki bowls for dinner, and egg and vegetable savory muffins for snacks, so easy to prep. This is almost 100 grams of protein and so easy to customize between 1,200 to 1,800 calories per day, as I said. Everything's dairy and gluten free, and I've got some vegan options for the salmon bowl and the muffins. The other stuff is already plant-based. Okay, so gonna make this coffee banana protein smoothie first. This is a great smoothie for meal prep, something that I really like because I feel like it's simple enough that I can have it for multiple days in a row and don't get bored of it. And it's still interesting enough that it like keeps me interested. I still want it after a few days, so it's perfect. Let's make it. Okay, there's my blender. Need some bananas. 4 bananas is what we need. 4 bananas, in we go. Then I got some yogurt, and you can really use any kind of yogurt that you want here, any kind of plain yogurt. I'm using some dairy-free coconut yogurt, but like a fat-free yogurt is fine as well. I'm using 3 cups of yogurt, then adding in 4 scoops of vanilla protein powder. I use a vanilla vegan one. It's about roughly 100 to 120 calories a scoop, just in case you want to know. A 1/4 cup of almond butter or peanut butter. Peanut butter also works. Some sweetener. I use about 4 teaspoons of maple syrup, but you can give it a little taste test first before adding the sweetener if you want to. Now with the coffee powder, you can really add this to taste. You know, add some, give it a little taste test, and then add more if you need to. As strong as you like it. I use 2 tablespoons and I think it's the perfect amount for me, absolutely perfect. Then about 1 cup of water and 1 cup of ice. I'm a little bit more organized with my meal prep containers today. Last time I was like scratching around for them everywhere, if you remember that, my last meal prep video. Just got these jars. I'm gonna link all the containers and jars that I'm using below if you wanna check out the sizes and everything. I did not do a good job of filling these up. I filled the one up like that and the other one like that. So I need to even these out. Oh, this one's all dirty. I want a clean jar. I know it's a waste of dishes, but I just have to. I have to have them all equal. No! No, I put it all in that one. Oh, okay. I need to even these all out. Just take a little bit from each one. I just wanted them all to be equal. Coffee banana protein smoothie. I'm so excited to eat these. And get these in the fridge. Oh, I just love the feeling of knowing that I've got one of my favorite meals ready for the week. It feels so good. Perfect. Okay, clearly going to need to make some space for everything we're prepping. But we will be using some of the stuff in the fridge, so then that'll make more space for the containers. Now that we're down here, let's preheat the oven. I'm preheating the oven to like 350 degrees Fahrenheit. We are going to prep some savory vegetable and egg muffins. And as I said, these make a super low calorie, high protein snack. They make a really good snack. They're really not difficult to put together. It's actually very simple. So while the oven's preheating, gonna get these muffins together, these savory egg muffins. And then when they go in the oven, we're gonna prep the last 2 things, and we should be able to get the last 2 things done in that time, in the time that they're in the oven. They're gonna be in there for a while. Okay, and by the way, you can use, for this you can either use real eggs or you can use vegan eggs. This one, or whichever one. I like this one because it's the same amount of protein and calories as real eggs. So we're gonna use a lot of eggs. You're gonna be like, Liezl, why are we using so many eggs? We need 10 eggs, okay, but we are making a lot. We are making a whole lot of these muffins, so 10 eggs or the vegan egg replacer. And I just realized that this is 10 servings. Look at this. There's 10 vegan eggs in here. I just realized this and I couldn't have even planned this. This is perfect. 10 eggs or one of these, which is 10 eggs. Vegan or not vegan, both work. Just washing some vegetables, 2 small bell peppers, a cup of cherry tomatoes, and a little handful of baby spinach, and just chopping them all up. I like to cut the bell peppers into small pieces, very small pieces, quarter the cherry tomatoes, and then just chop the baby spinach really roughly. Then got my 10 eggs, cracking them all into a mixing bowl, and adding a teaspoon of oregano and a teaspoon of basil, some salt, some pepper, mixing it up, and putting that aside quickly. Got a muffin tray here, lining up with muffin papers, or you can grease the tray, that's fine too. I add some of the vegetables, toss them up first, add some of the vegetables to each muffin cup, fill it about 2/3 of the way roughly, then add the egg mix in. And it's best to fill this about 3/4 of the way. Once all that egg mix is in, got about a 1/4 cup of feta cheese, and you can use a dairy-free one or a regular feta. Regular feta is higher in protein, just in case you're looking for more protein. I sprinkle just a little bit over each cup, and then I take what's left of the vegetables, which is just a few little pieces at this point, and add it to the top. This just adds a little bit of color to the top, makes it look good, and get them in the oven. They bake for about 24 to 28 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. That's about 176 degrees Celsius. I bake mine for 28 minutes usually. Snack muffins are in the oven. Right now, I'm gonna make lunch. Prep some lunch. I got a can of chickpeas here because we are making spicy chickpea mayo wraps. So easy, so good. Now, you might remember if you watched my recent lunch video, I shared a spicy chicken mayo wrap in that video. I'll link that video below because you can either make the chicken version from that video or you can make the chickpea version like I'm gonna make now. So you can do chicken or you can do a chickpea plant-based one. And they turn out quite different, so I really wanted to show you this. I like both. Both are good. I'm gonna make the chickpea one. I'm in the mood for this one this week. Just opening my can, giving them a rinse. And now you can actually use a little bit more than 1 can if you want. You can use up to 1 can plus half a cup with the calories, but if you just want to use 1 can, that's fine. I smash them up really roughly with the back of a fork and add about 4 tablespoons of mayonnaise in, 4 teaspoons of tomato sauce or ketchup, 2 teaspoons of sriracha or hot sauce, some smoked paprika, add some nice flavor, but that's optional. It is optional, but I love it. Some salt and pepper, and then some lemon juice, a nice big squeeze of that. Just mixing that all up and then setting it aside for just a moment. Getting some other fillings ready. Got some bell pepper slices, love these on this, oh, it's so good. Some lettuce, sometimes I use baby spinach, both work. And then some cilantro, which I don't always use, it's just like an optional extra. I've got it today, so I'm throwing it in. And now I'm heating up some tortillas. So getting a pan heated on the stove, and I just heat them one at a time. It's like 10 to 15 seconds aside, very, very quick. And now it's just putting it all together. On top of my tortilla, got some lettuce, getting that in the middle, some cilantro, a few of the bell pepper slices. I love the red bell peppers for this. And then some of the spicy chickpea mayo mix. It's about 1/4 of the mix because we're making 4 wraps. Just wrapping it all up. Slicing it in half. It looks so good. It looks so good. Can you see that red bell pepper? So good. Just getting it in a container and putting 3 more together. And you can actually leave them whole instead of slicing them in half like I'm doing. It actually keeps better for meal prep if you leave them whole. But I just wanted to show you what they look like inside because they look really good. Spicy chickpea mayo wraps done. Let's make the salmon dinner. Put these in the fridge first, then we can make the dinner. Okay, so we should still have just enough time to prep the salmon teriyaki bowls before the muffins come out the oven. We need to start that now though if we want to get it done in time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wash some rice, get that cooking on the stove. It's about 15 minutes to cook. And while that's cooking, we're going to prep the sauce for the salmon and the vegetables. So a few little things still to do. And by the time that's done, we should be on time to get the muffins out the oven. And then we're done. So let me find the rice and wash it. Found my rice, giving it a quick wash, and I bought some water just to speed up the cooking time. If you want to stick to the calories for the rice, you want to make about 2 cups of cooked rice. That's about 2/3 of a cup of dry rice and 1.5 cups of water. So much steam everywhere. And just getting that cooking on the stove, it's about 15 minutes. It doesn't take very long. And I'm making a quick sauce for the salmon, just a few simple ingredients. This is how I like to make it. It's very simple. 1/8 of a cup of low sodium soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of rice wine vinegar, 1 tablespoon of sugar, I like to use brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of honey, or you can use something like maple syrup, half a tablespoon of sesame oil, or another oil is fine too, half a teaspoon of onion powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of ginger powder, some salt and pepper, and then some chili flakes are optional. Sometimes I throw a few in. And then lastly, adding about 1/8 of a cup of water and half a tablespoon of cornstarch. And I always do this. I like to make my sauces in containers so that I can put the lid on and shake it. It really gets rid of the cornstarch lumps, so also you can get little lumps in there. So just shake it. And setting that aside for just a moment, washing some vegetables. I've got a whole lot of baby spinach here, and I like to do a lot because it goes really, really small when you cook it. So I just got a whole lot of that. And about 200 grams of broccoli. And getting 2 pans heated on the stove. Spraying a little bit of oil into each one. And getting the broccoli cooking in one. This cooks so easy. I toss it every now and again, but really you don't need to watch it too much. I just add a little bit of salt and pepper. And sometimes I add a little bit of water just to get it a little bit softer. It helps it to just get it cooking a bit quicker. And then I'm going to start the spinach now, but I'm going to cook it with some edamame. This adds a lot of protein to the meal, so I just wanted to add it to the bowl. I think it also goes really nicely with everything. So I got some frozen shelled edamame, using about 1 1/3 of a cup, adding it to my steamer. It's so easy to steam, so I like to use my steamer for this. And just throwing my spinach in there with it. But you can also just toss the edamame and the spinach in with the broccoli if you want to. It looks like so much, but it really cooks so small. And just doing like 5 minutes, that's all it really needs. And that's just enough time to cook my salmon. So this actually cooks so fast in like maybe 5 minutes. I've got my salmon cut into pieces. That's how I like it for this. But you can use 2 packs of firm tofu instead. Just cut it into pieces and cook it exactly how I'm cooking the salmon now. I'm just getting it all into a heated pan and cooking it about 2 minutes on the first side. Then I flip all the pieces after 2 minutes and cook it another 2 to 3 minutes before turning down the heat and adding the sauce. Just toss it around a bit. And if you do the tofu option, just cook it for like 10 minutes instead of 4 before you add the sauce. But the salmon is ready. It looks so good, so saucy. Ooh. Vegetables also ready, and so is the rice. So adding some to each container. And if you want to stick to the calories, add like half a cup per container. Oh, the spinach and the edamame is also ready. Just dividing that by 4, serving it out. Then the broccoli, getting it in there. And then the salmon. And okay, I don't know why I'm like this sometimes, but I wanted to rearrange it. I wasn't happy with how it was looking, so I decided to shuffle everything over. I wanted the salmon next to the rice, so serving the salmon out, getting it next to the rice. And then this is optional, but I decided to add a few little snap peas and some spring onions on top too. I already had them in the fridge, so throw them on there. It goes really, really nicely with this. It's just a little topping. I always like some sesame seeds, and I decided to throw some lemon slices on there too, why not? And that is my salmon teriyaki bowl. Just get the lids on. Okay, so salmon teriyaki bowls ready to go in the fridge. Well, I guess these are not bowls, are they? I mean, it could be a bowl if you just had a circle, a round container. Then it would be a salmon teriyaki bowl. Right now, it's a salmon teriyaki rectangle. I guess I'll just ignore that. Put it in a round container that's a salmon teriyaki bowl. I'm just gonna get these in the fridge. Sort out these egg muffins. You can get them on a cooling tray to cool down for a few minutes before storing them if you want. They look quite cute. But I usually pull the muffin papers off when I store them in containers because they're usually partially coming off after baking anyway. And sometimes I save a little bit of the feta to sprinkle on top right at the end, as well as some salt and pepper. And that's my egg and vegetable muffins. Perfect snack, perfect high protein snack. Okay, savory egg muffins ready to go in the fridge. That's everything. Oh my gosh, that's everything. It always feels so good when I'm finished. I'm gonna have all the ingredients for everything that we've made today on my blog. That's gonna be linked below. And now I'm gonna show you how to customize the calories. It's so easy to customize the calories. And the reason that it's so easy to customize the calories is that I make all the meals, all the main meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, roughly 400 calories, and all the snacks roughly 200 calories. So it's really easy to mix and match everything together to get exactly how many calories you want, roughly per day. It's got my little notepad here. And I will just say really quickly, this is part 4 of this 1 hour meal prep series that I'm doing. So you can mix and match all the meals and snacks together to come up with meal prep that you really like. Yeah, let's customize this thing. So as I said, all the main meals are about 400 calories and all the snacks are about 200 calories. So for 1,200 calories per day, you can prep breakfast, lunch, and dinner and then just leave out the snacks. For 1,400 calories per day, you can prep the breakfast, lunch, dinner, and the snacks. So that's exactly how I've prepped it. For 1,600 calories per day, you can prep the breakfast, the lunch, and the dinner, and then just double up the dinner to make it a bigger portion, and then leave out the snacks. And for 1,800 calories per day, you can prep the breakfast, the lunch, and the dinner, double up the dinner, and prep the snacks. And it's really easy to double up the portion of the salmon teriyaki bowl. Very easy. And that's it. It's so easy to customize, but I really hope that helps.